an integral part of the front line, helping to provide support for young, vulnerable people amid Manchester's recent surge in homelessness. This is Judy Vickers of LifeShare. Judy, you have got one of the toughest jobs in the city. I think you're someone who does a lot of work to really impact people's lives. What's an average day look like for you?
Oh, there's absolutely no average day really, because we're a crisis-led service, so you could have what you think is going to be sort of an average day, and then you come in the morning and somebody's on the front doorstep, no shoes on the feet, black eye, things like that. So no 2 days really ever the same here.
So that's what you are effectively to a lot of these people. You're there to be their overspill for like their emotional support, their practical support.
Yeah, I think so really. I think we're that place that they know they can be safe, non-judgmental, and each young person is an individual in their own right, and I think the team empower that in the young people. So what's Judy's story then? How have you ended up in the position that you're at, doing what you do? Different routes really through I was adopted as a child. Mum was a great believer in sort of helping the underdog, and my nan used to always say, set an extra plate at dinner table in case somebody comes a knocking and needs feeding and things like that. So I was brought up with that, so I went out travelling, saw a lot of different poverty, different things. In the 80s there was the rise in homelessness and HIV, so I went volunteering at the Needle Exchange over at Oldham Street, working at Lifeline. Various different friends dying in the 80s, various different reasons, overdoses, various things, and just drifted naturally into sort of the support thing. A lot of our staff, myself as well, have been through our own lived experience. I was in a women's refuge, through domestic violence, then gone from that to, homeless family really, rebuilt my life in 96. So yeah, it can and happen to anybody really, and everybody's 2 paychecks off being homeless. So we've got a broad lived experience, knowledge base, and it's one of them, come on, you can't kid a kid,
Exactly, well, I mean, it makes the support that you actually do a bit more impactful and genuine, doesn't it?
Yeah. So this is my little goodie room. We've got a company that sent us all these rucksacks yesterday. Coats and things like that we're always constantly in need for. Last Friday was torrential rain, so everyone who came in, the feet were wet through. Jeans, socks, boxers, we have to give them a complete clean set of outfit. Whenever I go to corporates and I'm doing my talk, oh, you look a size 28, I need your jeans. So yeah, it's a constant battle for supplies.
You've appeared in documentaries about spice, and I think when we first spoke a few years ago, there was a big problem at the time. Now there's been some legal changes in the interim period. How have you seen the changes?
Well, when you look around the city, you may say it hasn't gone any better. You still see people in a catatonic state the same way. I think the first time for us was when we got Vital from London to do the Spice Boys at Manchester documentary in about 2013. At that point, it was being sold in newsagents, head shops, garages. So although I was promoting to criminalise it, we knew it wouldn't solve the problem, and it would go to the street dealers, but it would stop that easy access to be able to get it. A lot of our clients, when there was a really tough rhetoric on cannabis, they thought that buying this stuff from a shop, it must be tested, it must be legal, it must be fine, X, Y and Z, and didn't realise the sort of physical addiction that would follow from that.
What kind of effect has that had on the day-to-day people you deal with? Have you seen a tangible change, or is it
somebody that I previously worked with who had been a cannabis user and cocaine and things like that, and that you can monitor that behaviour, and then once they're sort of a few weeks into spice use, the aggression, the nastiness, then you're having to work in twos with somebody that you previously would think nothing of trotting along with down the road on your own. This looks quite good at the minute. By the end of next week, that'll be pretty depleted. If you look at the food on the shelves at the minute, I've got a little bit left at the end of the week here, a little bit of pesto sauce. My mission over this weekend then will now be trying to fill these shelves again so that at the start of next week we're good to go and have the right items that we need for the food parcels.
So in terms of what's been done to tackle homelessness in the city, we've obviously got new initiatives. There's Andy Burnham is someone who's I think quite publicly talked about the actions that are being taken. As somebody who's on the front line of it, what's your perspective on how we're tackling the problem as a city?
Well, I think as a city we're doing a lot more than some cities. We are having sort of a multidisciplinary approach to it. Andy's got great, ideas and things like that. But when you're sort of fighting against two different camps, if you like. So they're trying to gentrify the city, make the city look great to foreign investment, foreign students, X, Y and Z. Everybody is being pushed out of the city really to clean up this image of, Manchester being that cosmopolitan city. The beds are out of the city, so, your A-Ben beds might be up at Cheetham Hill. But there's no bus ticket to get to Cheetham Hill. So if you remember last year, there was a lot of issues on the trams with people using drugs and things like that because they're trying to get to their A-Ben bed. They're jumping on the trams. These rooms can be sort of communal sleep rooms. So if you've got somebody, say, who's 20 and vulnerable and not a substance misuser and he's in a communal room with somebody who's 50-odd, Class A user, alcoholic, it's not really suitable for the young people. There's no specialist under 25 provision. So again, everybody is thrown into sort of one pool, if you like. So it's drop-in day today. You never really know what could happen on a drop-in day because it is the open space for the young people. There'll be a bit of artwork going. Some of the young people like to catch up with their friends on Facebook, and then any emergency accommodation referrals that need to be done. What
is it that you guys as Live Share provide them on a day-to-day?
Well, we do a very holistic approach to that young person's needs. So we'll be looking at the health. So one of the first important things is to get them registered with the Urban Medical Centre, get them linked in and have a health check, get the benefits looked at, sort of thing, looking whether substances are the issue, so then that would be a referral into CJL. We have forensic psychologists who are here because a lot of the young people that we deal with have been through childhood trauma. So there's a lot of really trauma-based sort of work. That young man we'd helped previously, certain things sort of happened, he found himself homeless, so we supported him, sort of helping to defer his uni, get him into accommodation. He's now back working and he's just brought some pot noodles and shower gel and things like that just to say thank you. And we have quite a few young people that have been through the service and settled and come back as volunteers, so they're then trained to be young people mentors, so that is quite empowering for other young people, I
mean, I guess you probably never get a minute off really. When you're dealing with people's lives, it's like you must get a bit emotionally invested with some of the people as well. So if you do get a phone call, such and such is in a pickle, or there's a problem, it must be really hard not to then just be like, right.
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, I think I'm next of kin to about 120, something like that. And then I've got some of my young people that were trafficked in 2007, 2008, and now they've got the rights to remain. They're engaged to be married, a little girl. So, so we do have, lovely stories, and sometimes it's, some of my young people say to me, well, you believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself, and I just think I'm going to peck in the head, nagging, now come on. And chaotic is the client group that we work with. So if somebody doesn't turn up 3 or 4 times, it's no biggie. You should be ready as an agency to jump to that thing when that young person's ready, which again I think makes us a little different from other agencies. Because if you get on me...
Can I say something cool?
Go on, I'll get it. Afternoon Live Share, entree. Oh, well, that was just an amazing surprise for a Friday afternoon. 2 beautiful ladies have just pulled up. They don't want any thank yous. They've brought me over a dozen sleeping bags for us to give out to our young people. So, that's just made my day.
What initiatives could be introduced, in the city to make it better for the people that you deal with on a day-to-day basis?
Well, I think everything's so sort of scattered out everywhere now. People not sure where they can go and they can't go. Again, going back to the gentrification of the city, everybody's being pushed out. Our breakfast project's out in Trafford now as opposed to city centre. So we've gone from serving 125 breakfasts on a Saturday morning, we're just doing 40. 45.
Because people can't get out there.
People can't get out there, it's too far to walk. You go around the city and, you know, you see building porter cabins, you see porter cabins that have got street food in, you see porter cabins that might have art workshops in, but you try and ask the council to let you put some emergency porter cabins to deliver food out and sleep pods in, no way, Jose.
Judy, I really appreciate your time.
No, it's been fantastic to see you again, Martin. You know, you're welcome at Liveshare anytime you like. Nipping through the northern quarter, just pop in.
Yes, I will. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great.